Okay, I hope you guys. I have to use the laptop because I'm using the phone as like a perch. I haven't done anything to my hair. Let me put my head on. That way I don't look as bad. Got my little golf cap on. All right. Good morning. This is actually going to be for both channels. I have two YouTube channels. I have a trucking channel, which is under Trucker Doll. And then I have a kind of ministry channel, which is Revelation Life Ministry. It's Revelation Life, RLM, or just might be Revelation Life. You search it out. I might put the link below. On the trucking channel, I did a video like a while back when I was looking at coming back into trucking. There was by my standards, a young woman who had entered into trucking and had had some experiences that were not the best experiences. And so I responded based on my 3 years in the trucking industry and the fact that I left out of it because I wasn't happy with some of the things that had happened in the trucking industry, even though our trucking companies I had worked for, even though I really, really like driving a truck. I love driving. I have no accidents. I have no incidents on my records. But me and a couple companies did not come to a good end based on either lack of maintenance of the vehicle and or other reasons. So not going to go into that. It's kind of irrelevant. Everything happens for a reason. But when I decided to come back out into it, I decided I probably, if I came back in the industry, I wanted to be what's called an owner-op. Now you can do that through either going out and buying a truck directly, or you can do what they call a lease purchase. There's people who are against lease purchase. There are people who are for lease purchase. In the climate today, you can make good money in lease purchase, but you are assuming more of the risk. But you're doing it as a business owner, so you have different tax things that happen, and to me, you're more in control of your destiny. I don't know if I'm going to do that with the company that I'm with. I'm very impressed with how they've handled my workman's comp situation from the fractured ankle, or if I'm going to do that with another company. I'm just going to be that honest. I'm going to do what's business-wise the best deal for me. The thing that I have with the company that I'm with is they have the most customer base in the industry. However, I would have to be a trainer virtually all the time to make my money. I like training. I like training a lot, but I don't know how well that works because some of their training program, in my opinion, deteriorated from when I first was a mentor with them or a trainer with them. With that being said, that's not what this whole video is about. In the comments, later we find out some things that this young person shares about their life and about their personal life. Young people share a lot, and I've shared stuff on my life too, in a public forum, and it just is what it is. It's the climate of what we're in now. Really, I think what's going on is as people, we're tired of all the fake stuff and we really want some reality. So we look at what's supposed to be reality TV, which in some cases is totally fake or totally overdone. And that has become attractive to us opposed to I think something got knocked loose. Opposed to the time frame my laptop came loose. I got to go and plug it in. Opposed to what we see on TV. So, as far as what used to be sitcoms and stuff, now life has mimicked that. But there was a comment that was left that was very derogatory because this young person had shared an aspect of their life. And everybody's going to have opinions. I have my own opinions about it. And even though I'm a licensed minister, even though I am Christian, and even though I know biblically what things say, I've had my own lifestyle issues and choices and decisions and falls and all sorts of things that happen for all sorts of reasons. There are 50 million thought processes on why people are what they are, believe what they are, struggle with what they are, don't struggle with what they believe they are. There's 50 million. I'm going to come from a Christian perspective and from a human perspective. And here we go. First of all, I am not Jesus. I cannot part the Red Sea. I can't walk on water. There are some things that he gives me in my control. There may be things I can do probably if my faith was different. within his permissible will, but I am not Jesus. And of all things that I know biblically, that I have learned of 48 years of living, how can you help your brother with his beam in his own eye when you got a big old beam in your own eye? So you can't help somebody pull something out their eye if you got your own beam. All of us have our own beam in our own eye. And we all want to point across the aisle, been there, done that, judge other people. We want to declare, even as Christians, even as Christians, we want to declare that we are Jesus. I am not. I'm a person now that realizes, based upon life experiences, based upon reading that word, based on looking at how Christ interacted, and there were subjects that Christ himself did not deal with. I am not saying those subjects don't stand as issues that God is against. I'm going to be clear on that. However, I leave judgment to God, because we don't know where along somebody's journey they may turn a corner. And we also don't know along the journey what caused them to be there. Now, some people want to tell you, born this way, born that way, this is how I always felt, whatever. I can tell you based on my own personal experience, which I'll sit to share my story later on down in time. I know that life experiences that happened to me from childhood up, I truly believe impacted a lot of choices that I made in my life. We all have been given something by God. Every last human being on the planet has it. It's a God-given gift called free will. It's called free will. And we can freely choose to go right or go left. That's the gift. Every decision, every choice we make has actions and reactions. There's an action, reaction. But to get on here, and I saw in the comments where somebody went and just really criticized, I don't even know who this person is, I'm going to block them later on. I haven't figured out how to block them, but I'm going to block them. And criticize, I already removed one comment that they put that was extremely derogatory. And put something negative about the individual who I was talking to. Had nothing to do with trucking. Had to do with this individual's personal lifestyle choices. That's their business. That's between God, them, and the other person. I'm not condoning. I'm not condemning. Because that's God's business. That was not what the whole video was about. It was really dealing with the truck aspect of trucking issues. The channels are going to be about two things. One is going to be about trucking, and since I'm Christian, it may have some Christian undertones or overtones, however you want to put it. And I have the Christian channel, which is going to be about Christian stuff. But what I've realized out of 48 years of living, I'm not going to sit there and start picking at people and beating people over the head. Been there, done that as a minister. And falling flat on my face in my own journey, in my own walk. Struggling with my own issues. Walking around with my own thorn and my own beams in my eyes. The best I can do is try to pluck the beams as God gives me willing help to do them. And to lean on his grace and mercy for the thorns that are in my flesh. You know, and I'm just going to say that. Take from that what you will. How we judge people, we can also be judged. When you're sitting picking and thinking that you're better, or we become so super Christian and religious that we don't know how to pray for a person and show them some mercy and grace. The reason, and this is my own feeling, the reason we're so toothless as Christians is because we want to point out and judge people. We don't even want to look at the power of prayer and intercession for people. We don't know how to love them where they're at, and we don't know how to stand back and ask God to give us the right things to say to them, the right ways to interact with them. Instead, we now want to jump on bandwagons and do, and tell people off. And then all of a sudden you see ministers fall heavy on their face. And I'm not going to name names. There's big ministers who have done it. Get out there and they criticize this person, that person. The next thing you know, they're standing in human judgment for possible issues they may have. We have to be careful on how we do it. The word is the word. When I minister now, it's going to be like this. That's the Bible. Read it. There's part of it that's blatant. It's just blatant. This is right. This is wrong. I've tried to make it fit me. It can't. It is the word. It's what I believe. I believe it from front to back. You can try to make it fit your situation, and plenty of people do. You take out it what you want, leaving it what you want to take. I like this part because it's good. I don't like this part because I can't, it doesn't match what I want. Well, this is God. That's supposed to be his word. It's supposed to be literal. That's why we're literal. But, a spiritual thing that is truth. So you choose what you're going to take out of it. And there's people who do that. Or you choose to take it as its whole and what it means. Part of it is very blatant. You can read it literally what it says, and it's blatant. It's like, do not kill. Thou should not kill. That's pretty plain and simple. It's, however, the deeper part of that, is it talking about killing in self-defense? Is it talking about killing premeditated murder, going to murder somebody? Is it talking about I can't kill anybody if I go to war? So sometimes it gets misinterpreted, and then you have to dig deeper, ask the Holy Spirit to give you revelation. That really means you're not supposed to do premeditated murder, meaning that you're not supposed to go out and try to kill somebody because they made you angry, whatever. If you end up in a war, that's not the term in the Hebrew and Greek, what that means. If you end up defending your home, your family, and you kill somebody, that is not what that means. Thou shalt not kill means you don't go out and just murder somebody. Now, again, I believe in the whole of the Bible. I believe there's a heaven. I believe there's a hell. But I also believe that the Holy Spirit of God works in order to give you revelation of that book right there, to guide you and to unction you into following it. But I do not believe to get on here or in any medium anymore and beat people over the head with your geopolitical views of where they should be. Everybody has their own journey. And not everybody gonna make it in. Not everybody's at a point where they even realize that they may end up having a relationship with Christ and become Christian. And some people, unfortunately, gonna bust hell wide open. It's just what it is. Because of that wonderful thing called free will. We have a choice in our life. But for me to get on here and tell you which direction you're going, I'm not sitting on the throne seat of God. I can't judge you. I can minister to your needs. I can share the word as best I can. But I will not sit there. And then on the channels, either one, it's not my goal to beat up on people. I want to see people empowered. I want to see them grow. And I'm going to be truthful with you that we need to analyze our own selves. And I will say that over and over again. We need to wake up because there's a lot going on right now in our world. There's a lot going on right now in the spirit realm if you're Christian. And you should be picking up on it. But whether it's the trucking channel, whether it's the Revelation Life channel, the goal is not for me to sit here and judge people because I have my own thorns that I've had to deal with. I've had my own falls that I've had to deal with. I've had my own struggles. I have my own generational family curses. I have my own stuff. And so for anybody to criticize anybody, it just makes no sense. And to pick them apart, especially when it has absolutely nothing to do with their lifestyle choices. That's not what either of these channels are for. So I've been off the Trucker Doll channel for a little bit, but I just got a comment this morning that showed up. And when I went through, looked through, I saw this like crazy comment about the video from someone else regarding this individual. And I decided this is the best medium to address it. So this is actually going to go on both channels. So for my Christian people, I'm not on here to judge people. I'm not here to tell you going to heaven or hell. I believe both exist. I believe the Bible is clear as to what can have you go to hell and what can't. But we look at some of the men and women of the Bible. We look at the people who were on the cross with Christ. By my judgment, neither one of them should have went to heaven. By God's judgment, he decided to give mercy to one. You know, if we look at David's life, David was doing the most. He set somebody up for murder, stole a wife, a lot of stuff happened in David's family. David was a hot mess, in my opinion. Moses killed somebody. I think he killed somebody, beating up on the Hebrews, and had a temper problem. I mean, we have a laundry list of the issues that happen with mankind, and God still shows them mercy and grace, and he decides ultimately who makes it in and who doesn't. So by Shannon's plumb line, which is a line of measurement by which a building is built, you probably wouldn't make it because I'd be so hypocritical. And so judgmental. But thank God it's not me. Thank God you have him and he shows us mercy and grace. But understand, understand, don't use that as your crutch to think that's going to help you make it in. That's not what this video is going to get into because that's a whole nother conversation. It's really to say this channel is not about judgment, whether trucking or Revelation Life Ministry. It's really about trying to help people get to where they're going and to try to address some issues. And once I'm on the road, which is feeling like that's coming real soon, probably either I'm thinking, well, I'm hoping they let me complete the physical therapy to build the rest of the strength back up in the leg. I go next week to figure that out or not with the regular doctor. But I'm walking on a cane now. I'm not using the walker as much. I'm getting ready to switch off the walker pretty much altogether except for getting in and out of the shower. Yeah. So anyway, guys, be blessed. Again, I'm going to figure out how to block this individual because I don't even know who this person is. I'm going to go figure out how to block. Matter of fact, I think I went to their channel and there wasn't even unknown there, but they just said some really heinous stuff. And, I guess people call them trolls on here, and I'm like, people crazy as hell. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Peace.